Howdy y'all, Wyrm here. In the first episode of the class lore series, we looked at the Gladiator. Now we look at another equally recognizable class, and one that serves as most players' first experience with the healing aspects of FF14, the Conjurer. First, a description of the Conjurer from the official FF14 website. Conjurer calls upon the elements of earth, wind and water, and concentrates them into a potency at which spells can be weaved. Through practiced meditation on the essences of creation, conjurers draw forth and absorb ether from their immediate surroundings. A wand or cane, made from unworked wood, is then utilised to focus the ether until it manifests as a desired spell. Versed also in magics that restore and strengthen, conjurers are regarded as accomplished healers. A simple and accurate description that the conjurers are healers and the basics on how they work. The storied roots of the Conjurer are pretty interesting, and a window into the distant past of the game world. The art of conjuring traces its first roots back millennia to the twilight of the 5th Astral Era. This era could be called the Era of Magic, as it was largely dominated by civilizations that pursued the uses of magic in many forms, which led to many wars. While it's not fully understood, this era came to an end in a calamity of water, and the dawn of the 6th Umbral Era. By the end of the 6th Umbral Era, and the beginning of the 6th Astral Era, came a long period of magic not being used. You can think of this as a time being similar to the Dark Ages of our world. Magic was outlawed, as it was blamed for causing the calamity. The scars of such ran so deep in the survivors, as did the memories of the Magi Wars before it. All magical practices were widely forbidden. Much of the arcane knowledge and tomes of the time were burned to ensure none would learn the arts, and those that held said arts, or tried to learn them, were largely hunted, tried, and killed as criminals. However, some knowledge, those spells of low risk and easy use, survived. Such guardians of this knowledge were the peoples who dwelled in Gelmora, a subterranean city under the Twelveswood. If that name sounds familiar, it's likely because the deep dungeon, Palace of the Dead, is part of Gelmora. Gelmora was a city inhabited by the Hure and Elizin, which is where their deep bonds were formed over the centuries. They were forced to inhabit the underground as the spirits of the Twelveswood denied them sanctuary to dwell under its trees. As time passed, the Gelmorans developed a new magic art, using the spells they retained, and developed the first form of conjuring, to commune with the elementals of the Twelveswood. And soon after, thanks to this art, the elementals allowed them to take residence in the Twelveswood. So it was, most Gelmorans headed to the surface once more, and the Hure and Elizin together founded the nation of Gridania. Those who communed with the spirits and elementals became known as hearers. As the hearers developed their elemental communion, they attained greater mastery of spells they knew and the forces of nature. As a result, the art of conjuring was born, and those who practiced it became known as conjurers, which continues on to this very day. That's it for the history of the conjurer. Now we move on to how they work. Conjuring is an art of healing and purification. The user harnesses the powers of nature that they may bring about change in the form of spells. In essence, to be a conjurer, you must commune and embrace nature, or nature will not commune and embrace you, and the spells will not work. They harness the powers of earth, wind and water, to not only purify and protect, but also to wreak havoc. While their destructive ability is less than other magical arts, they make up for it with their advanced and potent spells, used to defend themselves and others from harm. It should be noted that they don't use their own power to conjure these spells, rather they act as a conduit to the etheric power all around them in nature to power these spells. As such, the greater communion and bond with the spirits and elementals, the stronger the spells that can be used. Conjurers can use their own ether to power such spells, but such acts are dangerous and can lead to the demise of the caster, especially the act of using ether to revive or use advanced healing spells. As players of the Conjurer class already know, it leads you on the path to the White Mage. The art of the White Mage was lost in the fall of Amdapor in the 6th Umbral Calamity, and the following centuries making the art forbidden. The spirits and elementals of the Twelveswood, long after the birth of Conjurer, allowed certain individuals among their ranks to learn the art, and taught them the knowledge that was lost to both mortals and time, but not the elementals, allowing the art of the White Mage to live on. And that's it everyone, a not so brief lore dive into the Conjurer class. Leave your thoughts about the video and subject in the comments. I'd love to hear your personal opinion on the subject. Hit that like button if you enjoyed learning about Conjurer, and hit that subscribe button to learn more about the other arts of Eorzea and lands beyond. Thanks all, and as always, have a good one.